newest member of the Bloodline is set to make a major decision, and Vince McMahon made a rare appearance at last night's WWE Monday Night Raw. But first, this week on AEW Dynamite, Tony Khan is set to make yet another announcement concerning the debut episode of Collision. Of course, the first edition of AEW Collision will air live from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, and will feature the return of CM Punk. All Elite Wrestling's official Twitter account would last night break the news that Tony Khan will announce the first ever main event for Collision this Wednesday night, which will go down on the June 17th premiere. Many now anticipate that this will confirm recent reports that old Ring of Honor rivals Samoa Joe and CM Punk will share the ring once again, with Fightful Select recently confirming that a graphic was made for the match internally, although it's yet to surface publicly. Punk himself has also hinted at the match on social media shortly after reports emerged, with him posting a video to his Instagram story of him working out to Joe's old ROH entrance music. And speaking of announcements, All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro-Wrestling have officially confirmed a match for the upcoming Forbidden Door event. At NJPW Dominion this past weekend, Bryan Danielson would appear on the big screen to issue a challenge to former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada, threatening to drag the Rainmaker into the proverbial desert. Well, Okada has now responded to the challenge during an impromptu press conference today, with him happy to accept, and he would say, "There have been a lot of dream matches over the years, but not many that can truly capture the fans world over. I'm happy to be half of a dream match that can do just that. The world will be watching, and some of those people might not know Kazuchika Okada as well, but I feel like, if not a representative of my country, but a representative of Japanese professional wrestling, I want to show people with this match just how good Japanese wrestling can be." Regarding his opinion on Bryan as a wrestler, Okada would admit that he hasn't seen much of him, but he's looking forward to sharing a ring with him, and he would say, "To be honest, I haven't really taken in Bryan's work in AEW or WWE, so I'm not sure I can say with certainty exactly the kind of wrestler he is. But that's why I'm looking forward to this. I know that he isn't the tallest guy, isn't the biggest either, but he's been able to be a big star in those companies and be right at the top as champion. So that shows how good he is in the ring and how much charisma he has to boot." In Osaka Joe Hall, there were those yes chants that showed how far his name has traveled. Fans who don't watch American wrestling still know who he is, and that says a lot. I'm looking forward to facing him and looking forward to getting the win. I officially accept Bryan Danielson's challenge. Bryan, let's see who is the real best in the world at Forbidden Door. Elsewhere on the Forbidden Door show, Will Ospreay will battle Kenny Omega for the second time ever in one-on-one action, with the Cleaners IWGP United States Championship on the line. The aerial assassin would earn his shot in the match at Dominion this past weekend, where he defeated Lance Archer in the final of the #1 Contenders tournament. Ospreay would also appear on the broadcast of the press conference earlier today, warning the Canadian that the result will be different this time around, this after Omega defeated Ospreay in the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom earlier this year, and Will would say, "What people need to understand is what this match actually means to me. At the Tokyo Dome, I got embarrassed, humiliated by the returning prodigal son. You have no idea what that did to me. My family was at home watching me being desecrated by you. This is about redemption. This is about revenge. In Toronto, your home country, home soil, I'm going to do exactly what you did to me." Forbidden Door is set to take place live from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Canada on June 25th, with more matches expected to be confirmed over the weeks ahead. Another pay-per-view that's on the horizon is WWE's Money in the Bank, which will be yet another international premium live event for the company. In London, England on July 1st, the next Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Banks will be crowned in the traditional multi-person ladder matches for the opportunity at a world title match, anytime, any place within the next year. Last night on Monday Night Raw, two more competitors would qualify for the women's version of the match. First up, with multi-time women's champion Becky Lynch going up against Sonya Deville, who was joined at ringside by Chelsea Green. Despite interference from the Jersey Devil, the man would reign supreme after dropping her opponent with a manhandle slam for the 1-2-3. Lynch's current rival Trish Stratus would also find herself involved in the next qualifier, with her being at ringside to assist her new ally Zoe Starks, who found herself across the ring from Natalya. In the end, it was interference from the WWE Hall of Famer that allowed Starks to take advantage, hitting Natalya with a Z360 for the pinfall win. win. Starks and Lynch are now the second and third names confirmed for the women's Money in the Bank match, joining Zelina Vega, who qualified this past Friday on SmackDown. On the men's side of things, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, and LA Knight have all qualified so far, although no men's qualification matches would take place last night on Raw. Elsewhere on Monday Night Raw, the wise man of the Bloodline, Paul Heyman, would address the recent actions of Jimmy Uso, who superkicked the tribal chief Roman Reigns at the Night of Champions, costing he and Solo Sikoa their match against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. This was then followed by Roman's 1000-day championship celebration this past Friday on SmackDown, which resulted in Sikoa dropping his own brother with a Samoan spike to confirm his loyalty to the tribal chief. On Raw last night, Heyman would send a message to Jimmy's other brother, Jay, who is seemingly caught between the two camps, declaring that a decision will be made this Friday on SmackDown, and he would say, "I cordially invite you to join me this Friday night when a family drama plays out in front of your very eyes when Jey Uso makes his historic choice. You know, as the wise man, I'm tasked at times to deliver unpleasant news. No matter how bad that news is, I have to deliver it, even if I have to deliver it to your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. This is one of those times. The news is not pleasant. The news will rip apart the entire Anoa'i Fatu dynasty because this Friday, Jey Uso will make his choice and Jey Uso will choose and stand by his brother Solo. You can share a womb with your twin Jimmy, but you'll never be closer in life to him than you are to your tribal chief Roman Reigns. This Friday live on SmackDown, Jey Uso will acknowledge that fact, or else." But do you think Jey Uso will side with his brother Jimmy, or will he pledge his allegiance to the tribal chief? Let me know in the comments down below. And next, Vince McMahon was backstage at last night's tapings of Monday Night Raw. Prior to the show going live on the USA Network, a report emerged from PW Insider that the WWE chairman was at the show in Hartford, Connecticut, a stone's throw from the company's home base of Stamford. It was also noted that there were a ton of other WWE office executives at the tapings. This is the first time Vince has been present at a WWE show since the Raw after WrestleMania on April 3rd, which reportedly saw him tear up the night's script in order to implement his own changes on the show. Well, according to a report from Fightful Select, many changes were made to last night's show, something that has been common as of late, with McMahon making calls remotely, and the report notes. For the June 5 show, however, Vince was in gorilla position himself, where he was WrestleMania weekend. Of late, McMahon has been calling in changes, sometimes very close to the show. This has caused late rundowns to be passed out, and some segments and matches to be nixed. We haven't heard of anything out of the ordinary, and we're told the mood was much less hectic at the Hartford Raw than the Raw after Mania. PW Insider have also confirmed that the mood was less chaotic than last time around and wrote, "Unlike the last time McMahon was at Raw, there wasn't as much resentment or anger from talents that we are aware of. In speaking to one talent from Raw after the taping, we are told that a major difference is, and they said, the band-aid has already been ripped off, and that it's an unspoken understanding that McMahon is back on the throne. Even if he isn't around every week, it's well known by everyone that he's back in charge, and his decrees will be met." Whilst McMahon's presence was felt on the show, the reworked broadcast appears to not have been as overtly stressful as some may expect. It sounds like everybody's already accepted that Vince is back in charge. And before you go, make sure you check out how AEW can change wrestling forever.